So we went everywhere around Sevierville, all that area.
Yeah.
All that area down through there.
Right.
Finally, we found a cabin and we liked it and said, well, let's make an offer. We made the offer and people made the offer and we're happy. And so we're headed back home. It was quiet in the car. And I looked over and I seen Missy looking out the window and I looked in the back seat and Daniel's looking out the window and I said, you guys don't seem too excited about us buying a log cabin and getting ready to move up here where we've always wanted to be. And they just wouldn't say nothing. Finally, Daniel said, well, Dad, because he was 16 at the time, he said, what do you think about me staying at Nana and Papa's for a couple of years till I graduate, and then I'll move down here. Of course, I looked over there at Missy. I knew that wasn't going to work. And she was looking out the window, and I said, what's your thoughts on that? I don't know if I could do that. And I said, so what you're telling me, we ain't moving to Tennessee? And it's like, no, which I knew God was still telling me Tennessee, but I didn't tell them too much.
So you reneged on the offer.
So we called them back and said, we're not going to take it. And so, like I said, from that point we had to get something going. So we took our camper and we put it up on her father-in-law's lot. And his other daughter had a double wide up there. So the sewer was there, electric was there also.
Right.
We just pull up, plug in, we did. And that was in, like I said, almost 2012, first of 2012. And then we started coming to church here. I'd been a Baptist church all my life, pretty much. I'd been a Methodist, but also Baptist church. Where we came from, Lake City Baptist, is where we went to church. But anyway, whenever we moved over here, we started coming down here. Brother Larry Buchanan was the minister here. And he stayed here for that year. And like I said, we finally found a place we liked up here, a little farm. And we bought it, and
Well, you live pretty close to right here, don't you?
about 5 miles.
Yeah.
So
On down towards the river.
we went. Ours is that river.
Okay.
You got two rivers. You got Tennessee or the Cumberland,
Yeah.
and then you got the Ohio.
Yeah.
So anyway, we came to one church one Sunday, and Brother Larry was preaching. And when he got done preaching, he just kind of took a pail mic off. He was wearing it out, and he said, "Oh, yeah." He said, I just want to tell everyone this will be my last Sunday with you. I'm getting another church. And he said, I'm going to have to go there because this church just pays part-time. And they don't have a church. We call it parsonage in Baptist.
Sure.
They call them manse in Newcomb Presbyterian.
I see.
And anyway, there was no manse. So he needed more money because he even lost his other job that he was doing and preaching on Sundays. Wednesdays here.
So long story, it left an opportunity.
Well, yeah, and it was a neat opportunity because the next Sunday was Palm Sunday, and I got a call on Wednesday night and said, "Hey, do you think you could read something out of the Bible, just a few scriptures and that next Sunday?" We ain't had time to get a real preacher, and I knew what I was supposed to do. God's Holy Spirit had told me. This is what
See,
you're
I
supposed
didn't
to
know
preach.
that you was a teacher in what university?
At Paducah, West Kentucky,
West Kentucky. I didn't know that you was a teacher out there. How long did you teach out there?
6 years.
And you taught in the agriculture?
No, fire science degree program.
Oh, the fire science.
Yeah, fire science.
Is that where you got to meet Matt Walker? Is that how you got to meet Matt
Mhm.
Walker?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Walker, his father and stuff?
Yes.
Over
Yes.
there in Clinton?
Right.
I was wondering how that
Yeah.
come about.
That's exactly right. So.
Because Matt had a pretty big reputation towards,
You gotta get Presley home.
Okay. All right. Be there in just a second.
Matt had a pretty big reputation towards him doing what he was doing towards with the fire department and stuff.
Yeah. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
So you already had the ability of standing in front of an audience and talking, then, didn't you?
Yes.
So you're not bashful or shy in that area.
No, not really. I mean, I didn't know how to pastor though. I mean, But anyway, long story short, like I said, that was Palm Sunday. I preached,
And
and before I left the elders were sitting in here, and I come in here to get my Bible, and they said, "You think you'd be interested in becoming our pastor?" And I said, "Well, what's it entail?"
Right.
You know, and I said, "I may need some time to check into this."
Yeah, et cetera, et cetera, et
And
cetera.
so anyway, that next Sunday, March 31st,
You made a commitment.
I made the commitment. It was my 50th birthday, kind of like Jubilee,
Right.
Easter Sunday, and
Right.
I'm surrendering free.
Good for you.
And so once we got into this, a couple of other preachers was going to take me down to Memphis Theological Society. That's where all of our stuff is connected to
I see.
for your school. You have to have a master's in divinity if you want to be a pastor, an ordained minister for the Cumberland.
In the
You've
association.
got to have it or you don't get to preach.
Right.
And
To be a legal preacher.
to be a legal preacher, to marry.
You could always be a bootleg preacher.
Yeah, and they called those because we were
They call those
we were
they
called
call those elders.
stated supply.
You could still be an elder and still preach
No.
without being ordained. I
No.
think you can.
I don't know. I don't think so though.
But you're
Stated supply is just somebody they pay
okay.
to do it, but they can't do the. In other words, if somebody got saved, I had to find a preacher to be here to.
How about marriage? How about marriages?
Same way with marriage, same
Okay.
way with sacraments.
I
So-
see. I see. I see.
But it takes you about 7 years to fulfill that commitment.
Does it?
Yeah, I just now got ordained. I got ordained last November,
No kidding.
November 2nd. Yeah.
Good for you.
But it was tough going. Yes, you know.
You had to pass. You had to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, didn't you?
It was entailed. I mean, and I'm glad though because, you know, when you're standing up in front of a particular group, then you got to know the history.
Especially an educated group.
Yes.
It's one thing to stand in front of a non-educated group, but to stand in front of an educated group that can call you down on what you're talking
That's right.
about, you can't get a little nervous with that.
That's.
Well, I had been sending you some material, and I don't know if you still get it or not, but I've been sending you stuff on your old telephone. Do you still have the same telephone number?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
704-2086. Yeah.
Well, have you not been receiving stuff that I've been sending?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing from you in a long time.
Well, you must have me on
Block or something.
block or something. Then you must have got tired and aggravated in me.
I don't get too tired and aggravated with nobody. One thing this job has taught me is patience,
Has it?
comfort. You know,
Right, right.
try to help people,
Sure.
whoever they are. Try to.
Well, you know, me and you discussed towards feelings the last time we was together, and I don't have no hard feelings towards you, towards what went on. But somebody in Grand Rivers put the finger on me and fingered me towards saying, "Get him out of here." And they not only run me out of Grand Rivers, but they run me out of Livingston County. And I still don't know where that church is that I went to that I helped
You
that
don't think
night.
it was
And
Iuka.
it was pretty close to the Ohio River, so it's got to be down this way. Is there some more churches down this way?
There's some little ones, a Methodist church.
It should-
There's
it
a little
should-
Baptist church.
It's little ones.
I mean, it's a little bitty place.
Yeah,
Did you go there?
I think I did.
You don't remember what the name was?
I do not. That was in 2009. I do remember this. There was a cliff where you got to go down. There was a high place where you go down, and a deputy supposedly lived up there at the time. One of the deputies that come down and run me out of that area, that run me plumb out of Livingston County and run me over to Paducah, Kentucky. But there was a church down there on the bottom, on the lower end of that. So I didn't even know this town here existed.
Lola.
Lola, is that the name of it?
Mhm.
Spell it.
Lola.
Lola.
Yeah, Lola.
Lola,
Lola, Kentucky.
Kentucky. Was it named after a lady or something?
I forget. No, it's a man. It seems like. I
Really?
don't know. You know how long this church has been here? What do you think?
150 years?
189.
I didn't miss it far. But anyways, I'm gonna go on down that way and see if I can find that
There's a
church.
Methodist church on the left as you're going, and then there's a Baptist, an old time Baptist church on the right.
Is it?
Yes. All the way down. You're almost to the Ohio River.
Right.
You're right on it. As a matter of fact, if you turn right to that little Baptist church right there, and if you keep going up over the hill and come down, you're on the Ohio River.
I bet you that's it.
Did you go to Carsville? Forgot about Carsville.
Is that pretty close to the Ohio River too?
Yes. That sounds like where you went. Was this a big hill
Yeah.
looking down like a boat route?
No, I didn't actually go to the river.
Okay.
I'm talking about as you was going to the church, you went up this slope and then you started down to be able to get down to where the church was. And there was a deputy that lived up there.
Do you use your GPS on there?
Yeah.
Once you get down and look at the end of this, then type in Carsville, because it'll just take you back and take you over to Carsville.
Okay.
And look at that joint. 'Cause
Okay.
That's right there. It's got some big. That's why when you were saying looking up and
Okay.
over,
Is that in Livingston County?
that's still Livingston County. Sure
Okay,
is.
then
That
that's
little
where
town.
that's where I'll go there.
Carsville.
But if you don't mind, I'd like to try to call you real quick just to see if,
Call me.
because every time I try to call you, Troy, I get it goes over to your voicemail.